What is format specifier? It is a single alphabet character. It is a integral and decimal digit with the negative sign. I'm going to display the output on the screen and I'm going to format the output. By using all the format specifier, I can able to arrange my output according to my need and according to my wish. Hello to all, a warm welcome to my new session on console input and output. I am your Revati ma'am, faculty from the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. So dear student, in my today's session, once again I am going to deal with console input and output. Before going to start my today's session, let me to recall the topic what I have discussed in my last session. In my last session, I started with console class. Why I want console class? What is the need of console class? So dear student, if I want to enter some data to the program or if I want to provide some input, then I must have console input. And to display some output on the monitor or screen, I must have the output. For those things, I must have console class. Now, console class provides console input and console output. And if I consider console input, I have read method, read line, or read key method. And if I consider console output, I have write method, write line method. And if I consider formatted output, then I have the placeholder. That means I'm going to arrange and I'm going to format my output. These are the topic I have discussed in my previous session. But in my today's session, once again, I'm going to deal with console input, that is related concept which is related to the console input as well as console output, that is how to format output. In that I'm going to deal with standard numerical format and custom numeric format. That means if I format my output, I may have the numerical numbers and I want to arrange those numerical numbers in proper form. For that, I'm going to have the standard numeric form and I'm going to have the custom numeric form. So, dear student, from the examination point of view, these three topics are very, very important. Now, let's see how I can able to arrange or format the output. So, here formatting is the process of converting an instance of a class or structure. For example, think that I have the value 3.1214. Now, I want to arrange this value in some proper form. For that, I'm going to have the formatted output. So, what is formatting here? It is a process of converting an instance of a class or structure or an enumeration values to a string representation. So, I'm going to convert the output in the form of strings. The process is to display the resulting string to user to deserialize it later to store the original data type. That means whatever the string or whatever the data I'm going to read in the C# programming, that is in the form of string. Now I want to convert that string into equivalent type and I want to arrange as well as format the output. The basic mechanism for formatting is the default implementation. If I consider C# programming, then it is a default implementation of object.toString. Here I have the method that is toString, and I am going to call this toString method with the help of object, mainly used to format the numerical value. And there are certain time I am going to override the toString method. So dear student, in C# formatted output, I can able to format my output according to my wish. In the sense, whatever the input I am going to read, that is in the form of string, and I am going to convert that into equivalent data types, and I am going to align the output in some proper manner. Now, if I consider C# string format method formats string, that means in C# method I can able to format this string by using some method. So here format method manages formatting. So in C# that supports format method, and it's mainly used to format the output. That includes position of the number, alignment as well as format type. That means I can able to specify the format type, and in that particular format type I want the output. So what format method will do? It is mainly used to format the string, and what kind of format I can able to do, that is nothing but the positioning, alignment as well as format type. Now this is the syntax I am going to have. So here I have the object, that is string, and I have the method called format, and I'm going to specify the index, and I'm going to specify the alignment, and I'm going to specify the format string, and I'm going to specify the object. So here in index I'm going to specify in which index I'm going to align the output and what format I want to align the output, and I'm going to specify the object. So here string is nothing but the object and format is nothing but the method. Now I'm going to have the standard numeric format string. So dear student, if I consider numerics, I have the whole number and I have the fractional number, and I want to align and I want to format this output. So standard numerical format strings are used to format common numeric type. So if I consider standard numeric format string, and it is mainly used to format common numeric types. For example, if I have integer, floating point number, double, then I'm going to use standard numerical format string. A standard numeric format string takes the form. So this is the syntax I have here. So what I want to specify at the beginning, that is format specifier. That means I want to specify in which type I want the output, and I'm going to specify the precision specifier. So what is format specifier? It is a single alphabet character. So what is a format specifier here? Suppose, think that I have the amount. Okay, now I want to display that one in the form of currency, or in the form of percentage, or in the form of exponent. Okay, so I'm going to specify the format. So what is format specifier here? That is nothing but the single character that specifies the type of number format. For example, it may be currency or it may be percentage. Then what is precision specifier? So here precision specifier is an optional integer. So what is precision specifier? It is an optional integer that affects the number of digit in the resulting string. So it is mainly going to affect the number of digits in the resulting string. For example, say I have 100 rupees. So here I am going to write 100, and if I write 0, 0. So it is nothing but the precision specifier. That means I am going to specify how many digits I want to add after my decimal point. See here I am going to specify. After dot, I want 2 numbers. So that is your precision specifier, and format specifier is nothing but it's a character, and it is mainly used to represent what kind of format I have. That is round or exponent or currency or percentage. Now let me to consider some format specifier. So here I have the currency, I have the decimal, I have fixed point, and I have the number. So what is C here? C is nothing but the format specifier. That means I can able to use capital letter C or small letter c. And here C is nothing but the currency and a currency value. That means if I want to display currency value, then I'm going to use the format specifier C. See here I have 123 dot 456, and I want to represent this currency in American standard. So I want to display this one in the form of dollar. So I'll make it $123.46. So this is nothing but my precision. I'm going to specify how many digit I want to display. So here C is nothing but currency, and I have D, that is capital letter D or small letter d, that is nothing but decimal. So integer digit with optional negative sign. It is a integer digit with optional. That means I can have the negative sign or may not be, and which is supported by integer types only. So integer in the sense what? Long int, short int, signed int, unsigned int. So all these things are falls under integral types only. So here see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I want to represent this in the form of decimal. So I have minus 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now if I write D6, that means I want to represent this decimal value in 6 digit. So it is minus, I'm going to place 20 at the beginning. So here if I place 20, whatever the integer value I have, it won't affect. Okay, so I'll place at the end and 1, 2, 3, 4. So dear student, now I have floating point, that is nothing but capital letter F or small letter f. So what is this? It's nothing but the floating point, and it results integral and decimal digit with optional negative sign. So here if I consider 12.1234, this 12 is nothing but my integral part and this is my decimal part. Okay, now if I consider floating point numbers, then I can have the integral part as well as decimal part. See here, I have 1234.567 and I have the format specifier F, and I want to represent this one in the form of USA dollar. So I'll make it 1234.57. Why it is 57? Because it is 67. So it is near to 7. So I'm going to make it round figure. So it is 7. Now I have another format specifier, that is number, and it is represented by using the character n or small letter n. Now integral and decimal digits group separator and a decimal separator with optional negative sign. So here what is number? It is a integral and decimal digit with the negative sign, and I can have the group separator. See here I have the example. Okay, now I want to represent this one in the form of rupees, that is 1234.57. So it is 1000. I want to use a group separator, that is comma. And see what is my format specifier, that is number. Okay, now I want to represent this one in the form of USA, that is USA format, that is 1,234.57. So I'm going to make this one once again round figure. So what is number? That is nothing but it is a integer as well as decimal digit with group separator, and it can have the negative symbol. So it is optional, that is negative symbols are optional. So dear student, always the C# program is going to start with using system, and I have the class called demo, and inside the class I have the main method. Now see here, I'm going to display the message to the user that it is 3 place decimal. That means whatever the numbers I have, I can able to consider only 3 place decimal. And console.writeLine, I'm going to display the output on the screen, and I'm going to format the output, and I have the object called string, and I have the method called format, and it is mainly used to format the output. Now see here, I have 0:0. So 0 is nothing but the placeholder. Okay, after that 0.000. That means whatever the value I have given, in that I want to display whole value with the 3 precision value. Now if I consider second one, see here 0.00. But if I consider this one, after dot I have only 2 decimal digit. Now I want to make this one 3. Now if I consider third one, see here I have 3 decimal. That means after my fraction I want to have only 3 decimal, but here I have 4. Now if I want to format this output, okay, I'm going to have the format output. So if I write like this, then I'm going to get the output 987383. And if I consider second one, see, I want 3 decimal digit after my dot. See, so I'm going to append 0. Now, if I consider this one, I have 4, but I want only 3 decimal digit after my fraction. So here 7, it is 89, it is nothing but the 9. Then if I consider 9, then it is 0. Okay, so I'll write 987.790. Now, if I consider another example here, okay, I want to have 1000 separator. So after 1000, that means if I have 1000, what I want to do, I want to have a numerical separator. Okay, so 1,000. Okay, for that, see, I have the format, that is numerical format. So here 0,0.0 and I'm going to have this value. So what I want to do, it is 54,567.47. So instead of writing 47, I can make it as 5. Okay, see, I got the output. Now if I consider last line, so it is 54,567. Why it is 567? Because I want to remove dot 46. Okay, so here I'll write 0,0. In the sense I don't want this fractional value. Okay, this is the way I can able to use formatted output. That means I can able to use format method in my program to format the output. Now I'm going to have another example, that is date and time. That means I want to display the date and time in formatted output manner. So here I have the program, and using system, always this is my first line in my C# programming, and I'm going to start the program by creating class. And what is my class name? That is demo. And inside that I have the method called main. And see, I want to have the date and I want to format the date. That means whatever the date I have, while displaying date, I want the output in some formatted manner. Now I have the data type called DATETIME, and I'm going to create the object of the type D, and with the help of new operator, I'm going to create the object D and I'm going to pass the values. See here, this is nothing but my year. Okay, this is nothing but my days as well as month. Now here I want to format this string. So what I want to display the year. Okay, first whatever the year I have, that is 2018, in that I want to display year. So if I have only one Y, then it's going to consider 2, that is 2 digit, and in the sense I'm going to consider the 2 digit from the year. So here it is 3, so I'm going to consider 4 digit year, and here 4 digit. Okay, and from what I'm going to extract the year? From the D, that is nothing but the date and time, and I'm going to get the output 18. Okay, 2018 and 2018. Now, if I consider another one, I want to display only the month. And how I want to display the month? That is in the form of single digit. Here it is 2 digit, 3 digit, 4. Okay, so if I consider this one, okay, 2 is the month. Okay, if I have only one, then I have 2. Now, if I have then it is 0, 2. And if I have triple M, then whatever the month I have, that is represented in the form of month name. Okay, that is represented in the form of month name. In that, I'm going to consider only 3 character or 3 letters. So, Feb. And if I write 4M, then I'm going to display the complete month name. Okay, so it is February. Now, if I consider last statement, here I want to display the day. And if I consider here, it is 8. Okay, I want to display day, so I'll display 8. When I have double D, then I'll display 08. When I have DDD, then I'm going to display the day name. Okay, so it is 3 character or 3 letter. And if I have 4D, then I'm going to display complete day name. So what is the day? That is Thursday. So here, by using all the format specifier, I can able to arrange my output according to my need and according to my wish. Now I'm going to have the last topic under this chapter, that is custom numeric format string. Okay, so here whatever the custom numeric string I have, that is not the standard string format. That is, in the sense, it is not in the form of standard numerical format. So a custom numeric format string is always in any form. Okay, it is always in any format string, and it is always not in the form of standard numeric format string. And if I consider this table, it is mainly used to represent what are the different kinds of custom numeric format string I have and how I am going to use. So dear student, at the beginning I have the format specifier, that is 0. Okay, that's nothing but the 0 placeholder. Okay, replace the 0 with the corresponding digit. Okay, so 0 is mainly used to replace the corresponding digit. If 1 is present, that means if the given number have 1 at the beginning, then I'm going to replace. Okay, otherwise 0 appears in the result string. So otherwise what's going to happen? Just 0 is going to appear. So if I consider this example, okay, see, here I have the format specifier and I have 5 zeros. That means whatever the output I'm going to get, that is in the form of 5 digit, and here I have 1. So here I have 1. If it is 1, what I want to do? I want to append 0 at the beginning. And see, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'm going to truncate this one and I'll get the 5. Now, if I consider hash, so it is digit placeholder. So what is hash? It is nothing but the digit placeholder, and it replaces the hash symbol with the corresponding digit if 1 is present. Okay, see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 dot 5, 6, 7, 8, and I have the placeholder hash. Okay, and if I have 1 in my given input, what I'm going to do? I'm going to replace that with the hash. So here 1, I'll get 2 and I'll get 3 and I don't get 4. Instead of that, I'll have the 5. Now I have another format specifier dot. So that is nothing but the decimal point or decimal placeholder. It determines a location of the decimal separator. So it is mainly used to represent decimal separator. See here 0.00. Okay, that means I have my integral part. Along with that, I have only 2 decimal point. See, it is 0.45678. Okay, so I have the 0. After that, how many digit I want to consider? Only 2 digit I want to consider. So it is 4, 6. Because it is 56, after 56, I can have 60. Okay, so instead of writing 5, 6, I'll write 6. Now, I have the another format specifier, that is nothing but group separator and number scaling. So here comma. Okay, it is nothing but the group separator and it is scaling. So it serves as both group separator and a number scaling. Consider this example. See here, I have the lengthy number. Okay, now what I want to do? I want to scale and I want to group. So dear student, after 100, that is nothing but 3 digit. Okay, I have a comma, that is group separator. Once again, I'll consider 3 digit. Then I have the comma, once again group separator and scaling. After 3 digit, I have comma. So it is group separator and scaling. So these are the some of the format specifier we can have in our custom numeric format strings. Along with this, I have two more, that is percentage placeholder and per mile placeholder. So percentage in the sense what? To represent percentage wise. Okay. Think that I have some input. Okay, now I want to represent that input in the form of percentage, then I have the percentage placeholder. And if I have per mile placeholder, so it multiplies a number by 1000. Okay, suppose if I want to convert, and if I want to convert that, what I will do, I'm going to multiply that number by 1000. And if I consider percentage, see here, I have 0.3697 and I want to represent this one in the form of percentage, then what is going to happen? Percentage 36.97. And if I want to consider per mile placeholder, see, I have the 0.03697. So what I want to do, I want to multiply this number by 1000. So I'll get per mile placeholder, that is 36.97. So it is nothing but the per mile holder. So these are the some of the format specifier mainly used to format custom numeric format. Okay. Now, in my today's session, I started with what is output format. In that, I have discussed standard numerical format as well as custom numerical format. But in my next session, I'm going to deal with how to handle the errors and how to manage the errors. For that, I'm going to have the managing errors and exception. Anyway, dear student, let's meet in the next session with the concept managing errors and exception. Until that, keep watching and keep learning. Thank you.